Thank you very much. We must stop now. I want to give you time for your closing statements. It's indeed time for that. From each of you, we will begin with President Reagan. I'm sorry, Mr. Reagan, you had your rebuttal, and I just cut you off because our time was going. You have a chance now for rebuttal before your closing statement. Is that correct?
No, I might as well just go with.
You want to go with your?
I don't think so.
You want to wait?
I'm all confused now.
Technically, you did. I have little voices that come in my ear. You don't get those same voices. I'm not hearing it from here. I'm hearing it from here.
All right.
You have waived your rebuttal. You can go with your closing statement.
Well, we'll include it in that.
Okay.
4 years ago, in similar circumstances to this, I asked you, the American people, a question. I asked, are you better off than you were 4 years before? The answer to that obviously was no, and as a result, I was elected to this office and promised a new beginning. Now, maybe I'm expected to ask that same question again. I'm not going to, because I think that all of you, or not everyone, those people that are in those pockets of poverty and haven't caught up, they couldn't answer the way I would want them to, but I think that the most of the people in this country would say, yes, they are better off than they were 4 years ago. The question, I think, should be enlarged. Is America better off than it was 4 years ago? And I believe the answer to that has to also be yes. I promised a new beginning. So far it is only a beginning. If the job were finished, I might have thought twice about seeking re-election to this job. But we now have an economy that, for the first time, well, let's put it this way, in the first half of 1980, gross national product was down a minus 3.7%. First half of 84, it's up 8.5%. Productivity in the first half of 1980 was down a minus 2%. Today, it is up a plus 4%. Personal earnings after taxes per capita have gone up almost $3,000 in these 4 years. In 1980 or 1979, a person with a fixed income of $8,000 was $500 above the poverty line. And this maybe explains why there are the numbers still in poverty. By 1980, that same person was $500 below the poverty line. We have restored much of our economy. With regard to business investment, it is higher than it has been since 1949. So there seems to be no shortage of investment capital. We have, as I said, cut the taxes, but we have reduced inflation, and for 2 years now it has stayed down there, not a double digit, but in the range of 4 or below. We believe that we had also promised that we would make our country more secure. Yes, we have an increase in the defense budget, but back then we had planes that couldn't fly for lack of spare parts or pilots. We had Navy vessels that couldn't leave harbor because of lack of crew or, again, lack of spare parts. Today we're well on our way to a 600-ship Navy. We have 543 at present. We have our military, the morale is high. I think the people should understand that 2/3 of the defense budget pays for pay and salary, or pay and pension. And then you add to that food and wardrobe and all the other things, and you only have a small portion going for weapons. But I am determined that if ever our men are called on, they should have the best that we can provide in the manner of tools and weapons. There has been reference to expensive spare parts, hammers costing $500. Well, we are the ones who found those. I think we've given the American people back their spirit. I think there's an optimism in the land and a patriotism. And I think that we're in a position once again to heed the words of Thomas Paine, who said, we have it in our power to begin the world over again.
Thank you, Mr. Reagan. Mr. Mondale, the closing words are now yours.